Or what?
They're leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
But I was basically the only person in the theater. Very few people wanted to see this. Even the little kids who like Disney movies, even they don't seem to be turning up in droves for the movie because the movie is really, really bad.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces.
Nobody wants a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? It's the outrage.
I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing.
When Joe Rogan saw Disney's new Snow White, he didn't just criticize it, he nuked it from orbit. On his mega popular podcast, he played the trailer and couldn't believe what he was seeing. "This looks terrible," he yelled.
She's not going to be safe with a prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
Oh my God.
The CGI dwarfs made him laugh out loud. They looked like cheap video game characters. How did this cost $250 million? Rogan asked. His angry reaction went viral fast, with 8 million views in just 2 days.
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
People loved how Rogan destroyed the movie without mercy. He called it the biggest waste of money he'd ever seen. And guess what? The box office proved him right. The movie opened to just $43 million. That's less than half of what even Dumbo made. But
this is really a bad movie, and I apologize to Walt Disney himself. I'm sorry.
By the second week, it dropped 66%, which is historically bad for Disney. Theaters started pulling IT from screens after just 17 days because nobody was watching. Rogan's brutal review became the final nail in the coffin. Fans said he was 100% right.
But it doesn't look real at all.
Yeah, and then like they do all the work while she dances around being a leader or whatever. The script was
Wait a
straight
minute,
from the
how much
start.
did this cost? They should get Doge looking at this movie.
This is what theaters look like across the world, and it just keeps getting worse. The memes. Let's say that you were in a Hollywood movie, and the trailer for that movie dropped on YouTube, and it instantly became the #1 most downvoted trailer in the history of the platform.
The main reason this movie flopped so hard? Rachel Zegler. The young actress screwed up big time before the movie even came out. First, she insulted the original 1937 Snow White, calling it weird and outdated.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Disney fans went crazy. How could she de-assess a classic that everyone loves?
How it was so outdated and how Rachel Zegler disrespected the original and a classic from Walt Disney, something that completely saved Disney and changed the company and changed animation in general.
So she came out and took a large dump on half of the country, everyone who voted for Trump.
Then she made it worse by attacking Trump supporters online. She posted, "May they never know peace."
President Rachel Zegler also posted, F Trump kinds of posts on social media. She also said that she hoped the Trump supporters, quote, never know peace.
This angered millions of potential viewers. Parents, the people who buy Disney tickets, said, "We're not watching this."
But you are not entitled to call for Trump supporters to be harmed. Like, you are actually not entitled to do that. And so let me just remind you, Rachel Zegler, of what the map looks like, just so you can understand when your Disney movie is coming out, how many people you are wishing harm upon. Like, this is America right now. I will love you through these 4 years as best I can. F Donald Trump. Yeah.
The backlash was huge. Hashtags like #BoyCottSnowWhite trended for weeks. Disney panicked. They tried to fix her mess by hiring a social media minder to control her posts. But it was too late. The damage was already done.
Yeah, girl, let me tell you something.
Big head girl.
The message of the movie is to be that. That's the message that they wrote a script that's telling girls, I don't need nobody tells me I'm a 20-year-old girl, so obviously I should run my mouth all the time.
The problems didn't stop with Zegler. The whole production was a nightmare. The director fighting with writers. The script kept changing.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
First Snow White was a princess, then a warrior, than a leader. Nobody knew what the hell they were making. Then Peter Dinklage, from Game of Thrones, blew up at Disney. He said their dwarf ideas were backwards. So Disney wasted $50 million redoing all the CGI dwarfs last minute.
You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
The new versions looked so bad that test audiences laughed at them. The music was a joke too.
They say all you have to do to make your wish come true is let it echo, 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 echo.
It's awful, generic. Never mind that the lyrics make no sense at all.
They cut the iconic songs and replaced them with feminist anthems that nobody liked. One lyric said, "I don't need a prince." People groaned when they heard it.
Awful.
It's got extra musical numbers that are incredibly unnecessary that really add to that runtime. And let me go ahead and let you know that they're absolutely f***ing atrocious.
Disney deleted Someday My Prince Will Come and made a modernized feminist alternative.
When critics saw the movie, they tore it apart. The Rotten Tomatoes score crashed to 12%. That's lower than Cats. Reviews called it a boring lecture, Disney's biggest mistake. Nothing like the original. Fans were even angrier.
And people still line up to see her. Oh my God. And I can only hope.
What's that mean?
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to
They said, "This ruined my childhood. I want my money back." Even my kids hated it. The cinemas were empty. Some shows had 0 people watching. Employees joked. We could hear ourselves echo.
Whole thing. This was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension. Racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics. Its narrative was cowardly. It was just awful.
Disney bet big on this movie and lost bigger the $270 million budget, plus $150 million for marketing, turned into ashes. Experts say they'll lose over $200 million total.
And accusing Disney of inserting unnecessary feminism into classic fairy tales.
So no prince or a different kind of prince? I'm sure a lot of people will assume it's a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Who the hell are you to say all of Andrew's scenes could get cut? Like, who are you? Oh my God. Are you Disney?
The stock price dropped. Executives got fired. Bob Iger, Disney's boss, sent a company-wide email saying, "And no more politics in movies." Rachel Zegler got blacklisted too. Disney removed her from Toy Story 5 and the new Pirates of the Caribbean. Her career might be over before it started.
These big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous. How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword.
Hollywood is still reeling from the most expensive flop in Disney history, and the fallout is more brutal than anyone imagined. This isn't just a bad movie. It's a warning shot across Hollywood's bow that fans have had enough.
Because you just can't close your mouth. You just can't be sane, even when you do open your mouth. I think this girl does not deserve a feature-length film, but rather, she deserves to be in a padded cell.
When Rachel Zegler spat on the original Snow White, she didn't just insult a movie. She declared war on generations of Disney lovers. The backlash was instant. The boycotts were merciless, and the box office paid the price. Message received. Piss off your fans, and they'll bury you.
Then they got even crazier and they decided that the dwarves in Snow White weren't woke enough, okay?
These are roles made for actors of my stature. I can't go out for the Harrison Ford or the George Clooney roles because that's not for me. Right. And now it's taken away.
The moment Disney traded whimsical charm for woke lectures, the spell was broken. No iconic songs? No love story? No actual dwarfs? This wasn't Snow White. It was a corporate PowerPoint disguised as a fairy tale. Audiences aren't stupid. They smelled the desperation and ran.
Did the dwarfs make it or no?
Well, the CGI dwarfs did. Of course, that goes back to the original controversy where Peter Dinklage, a very talented little person actor, said, Why are we doing that? We've hired a Latina actress to be Snow White. That's progressive. But you're going to hire little people to play the dwarfs? That just seems like a step backwards. And then, of course, Disney instantly buckled and said, okay, we're going to add magical creatures.
The most humiliating part? Joe Rogan predicted this disaster just from the trailer. His vicious takedown exposed what Disney refused to see. This wasn't just bad. It was unforgivably awful. When even casual fans can spot a train wreck from the previews, your creative team should be fired.
They spent $250 million making that movie. But imagine you spend $250 million and you get some young girl and you don't kind of talk to her about like, hey, you know, don't get political. You're young. And I know you have opinions about things, but should be just about the movie.
Well, it's just to defend Big Head Girl.
Disney begged theaters to keep playing it, but nobody came. Empty showings became meme gold, with employees joking about ghost town screenings. The $270 million question now: how many executives will get axed over this fiasco? After this nuclear-level failure, every studio is racing to scrap their woke remakes.
That is totally uplifting and the right way to be woke, Link, when you actually cancel the roles for the marginalized population, because just putting them on screen is somehow racist.
The message is crystal clear. Fans want magic, not lectures. Disney's next move will define their future, if they even have one after this historic embarrassment. This wasn't just a flop, it was a cultural rejection of everything Hollywood has become. The only winner? Joe Rogan, who laughed his way to the bank while Disney burned $270 million learning the hardest lesson of all. You can't replace magic with agendas anymore.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Rachel Zegler, she's an...
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
Don't miss out. Want more exclusive breakdowns of Hollywood's biggest fails? Smash that subscribe button and join Olivia Cruz for the most explosive entertainment news on YouTube.